EU ambassadors are holding an emergency meeting this afternoon to discuss the White House's push to annex Greenland. Ahead of that meeting, Italy's Prime Minister said she'd spoken with Donald Trump. Giorgia Meloni said she thought his threat of more tariffs was a mistake, but believed there'd been a misunderstanding between the US and Europe.
It seems to me that he was interested in listening. But from the American point of view, the message that had come from this side of the Atlantic was not clear. It seems to me that the risk is that the initiatives of some European countries were interpreted as anti-American, when that was not the intention. Clearly, the actors that concern everyone are others. But I didn't think this message was clear at all.
Our US correspondent Mark Stone's been speaking to key diplomats in Washington, D.C. about this, who are warning that the US president is serious over his threats to Greenland and that Europe could soon be forced to make some more very difficult decisions.
The situation is critical. Those are the 4 words a top diplomat used when I asked him about Trump's position on Greenland. Others have used similar language: unprecedented, extraordinary, urgent, serious. So here are 5 takeaways from conversations I've been having here in Washington, what all this means and what next. First, Trump isn't bluffing. It is the Danish government view, underlined following their foreign minister's meeting with Trump's team last week, that the American president is serious. He wants ownership of Greenland. The challenge is to find a compromise, a middle ground, if there is one. And that's the second point. There appears to be no compatibility at all between Trump's position and the EU-Danish Greenland position. Danish attempts to remind the Americans, including this past week at the top-level meeting with J.D. Vance, that they can place as many troops as they want in Greenland. They can rename a base Fort Trump if they want. They can discuss access to critical minerals. The Danes and the Greenlanders say they're open to anything except giving the place up to Trump. Yet the American position is, we appreciate all that, we understand that, but now the president believes the only way to secure Greenland from Chinese and Russian threats is if it becomes American territory. Incidentally, from conversations here, it's also clear, I think, that within the US administration, there are varying views on the wisdom of Trump's Greenland position. But as we know, Trump calls the shots and no one seems to question him. And so all that makes dialogue difficult and compromise kind of hard to see. There may be pressure on Denmark to cut a deal, but as I say, it's hard to see what the middle ground is and what that deal might look like. And so the third point is whether the Europeans will again capitulate to Trump. They bent the knee again and again to the American president, bowing to his demands, petrified of what his tariff threats might do. But this time I kind of get the sense that they're beginning to get tired of his games. They'll hold firm, maybe, because ceding a European territory to America under duress or otherwise is unthinkable. Still, if he follows through with the tariffs, they will hurt. It's worth underlining that there are unquestionable strategic reasons for Greenland and America to be close. And so in that sense, Trump does have a point. But the European argument is all that's possible. It's possible to be close to Greenland without Greenland having to become American. A final thought, the British context to all this is, I think, awkward, because while other European countries have seen Trump as an unreliable ally, Keir Starmer has consistently claimed that Britain has got a handle on Trump. They know how he ticks, how to deal with him, hence the superior trade deal secured by Britain. All that is looking just a little bit awkward now.